1. Hey guys, Phantom here, and today we're going to do a patch rundown video of 10.3 League of Legends. And so, I'm not going to have my tier lists on the side for this specific video, and a big reason for that is because, in my personal opinion, there was actually no major changes in this patch to warrant me actually changing the tier lists at all. So, Akali. So we're seeing some energy nurse on her Q 5-point strike, and then they're putting some W buffs in her in compensation to give her a little bit more movement speed, 10% at each rank. And then finally, they're going to nerf the R on perfect execution by making it so that you can no longer free range target, but now it's guarantee hit on who you want, and it kind of just jumps you to that location. And what this does specifically towards Akali is we don't care too much about the energy costs because her cost to get back her energy is so efficient anyways that you're barely even going to notice it. What we dislike here is the fact we can no longer choose where on her first R we're able to actually point our locations. This actually reduces her combos by quite a bit because you would actually see some fancy R flash mechanics with Akali players to get better and superior angles. And it makes me sad that they're doing this type of nerf, but the main goal here is it is actually ultimately nerfs her diving potential. It makes it a lot harder for her to get into enemy backline with this type of nerf because she becomes a lot more predictable in her movements, and also makes her a lot harder to tower dive because let's say she's tower diving somebody like a Galio or a Lissandra, she can fake people out with the first R so they can use the ability incorrectly to defend, and then she could kill you with the second R. So it makes her a lot harder to do things like that because now she's just guaranteed to jump at you in a straight line, and it's way harder to predict it's way easier to predict a straight line that you know is coming at you versus something that could be in any angle on the user's choosing. So I think Akali is still going to be a really good champion because damage-wise, literally nothing changes at all. But what this does happen is it's going to make it a lot harder for Akali's to carry in solo queue. So this is more on a nerf on solo queue Akali than it is on actual pro play Akali. I also find it really funny that they're calling this, as promised, we're doing some major work on Akali. And they're calling this major work, like, really? You're not going to talk about the fact that her E has infinite range. You're not going to talk about the fact that Q can just, honestly be infinitely used level 1 with almost no cost whatsoever. You're not going to talk about the fact that W refreshes Q for 1 extra attack. We're not going to talk about how she's almost ungankable. We're not talking about those things? Really? There's so many creative ways they can adjust Akali to be a completely fair champion, and they just don't go into it at all. And I believe one thing that they can do is remove the backflip on E. Remove it, because it actually makes it really hard to gank. Remove the backflip. There's no reason for her to have it. Aphelios. They're removing the infinite range on Caribrium. I'm actually happy with that. Makes them a bit more fair, but 1800 is still huge. You're almost never going to use the infinite range anyways, unless you're a really, really good player who's taking advantage of it. So yeah, this is nice, but it's not going to change anything. Azir, they're actually buffing his mana and the R on Conqueror's Divide. I think Azir is already a good champion. I think he's already pro play viable, and I even think he's solo queue viable, but there's just not enough good players to abuse him. But yeah, I'm completely fine the way Azir is currently. This buff is gonna make his life easier. The mana nerfs are definitely welcomed, but at the same time, I'm not an Azir main, but I don't think Azir players in solo queue are saying we don't have enough mana. I believe most of their complaints go to they feel he doesn't have enough defense pre-level 6. But yeah, I think Azir is a good champion right now. This just makes him even better. I think it's time that pro play starts looking at him again. Corki, so the W special package delivery. This changes literally nothing, cause how do I say it? This is something that he's only getting every couple minutes. I like to view package delivery as another ultimate. And the thing is for ultimate buffs to matter, they need to be really, really big buffs. 0.375 to 0.5 is a good buff, but at the same time it's just and 0.5 to 0.6, that's nice. It's just, how do I say it? on an ability that he uses so rarely, you much rather see buffs on the actual E, Q, or W or R, like, or his auto attacks. Like, this is not something he uses enough for the user to even notice, and especially in solo queue, most people don't even use this correctly in the first place. So this will have no impact at all in solo queue. So they're nerfing Diana's mana. This is to hit mid lane Diana, who has had a really good win rate for a while. Damages per orb 22 to 18 from 70 to 66. This nerf actually kind of sucks. This actually does suck, especially at max levels. Let's actually do the math here. I'll do the math right in front of you guys, so we can judge how much this actually is. We'll decide out if this is a meaningful nerf right now. So I think she has 3 orbs, so we do 70 times 3. And we get 210, and then we do 66 times 3. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Let's look at the first one. So 22 times 3, because I suck at math. 66. 18 times 3. Yeah, this doesn't fucking matter. This is like come on, Riot. Come on. She's not gonna lose out on kills because of like 8 or 10 damage. Like, come on. Is this a joke? And then they're nerfing Echo's wave clear in the jungle. But here's the thing about Echo jungle. What about us to tell everybody who's watching this video right now, like legit and fully mean it, that no one is playing Echo for his wave clear. Literally no one is playing Echo for his wave. What else to tell you? He could have bad wave clear in the jungle, and you would still play him. What's going on in jungle right now is there's this weird phenomenon in the jungle meta right now where players no longer care about clear speed, but instead they care about how good the toolkit actually is. They don't even care about ganking anymore. What they care about is a champion with a toolkit that can solo carry them to the victory once team fights and lane phase is almost over. So it's the same story with like Kiana jungle or Camille jungle or Twitch jungle. Like solo queue junglers are specifically looking for champions with really good toolkits. So the wave clear, the camp clear, like this isn't really gonna do anything. Like, if you want to stop Echo jungle, you instead need to look at his actual damage. And yes, you're gonna nerf mid lane Echo at the same time, but at the same time, if you're gonna insist that you have to nerf it, no one's gonna give a fuck about 200% versus 150%. And yes, that sounds like a lot, but the thing is, there's this really weird thing that's going on in the jungle right now, where toolkit matters more than farming and ganking. It's just generally what's going on right now. Because if you were to compare Echo to Xin Zhao, which jungler is better, you would actually say that Xin Zhao is the better jungler. Because on definition, Xin Zhao has better ganks. Xin Zhao has better clear. Xin Zhao is like more easy to pull off. Xin Zhao on paper is the better jungler, yet Echo is the one with the higher win rate. And it goes down to that Echo's toolkit is better. Junglers care more about toolkits right now than they do about actual jungling. And I think that's also a side result of how bad jungle EXP and gold conditions are right now. So moving on. Ezreal. So MF data. Okay, so mana growth 42 to 50. That's actually pretty big. Attack speed growth 1.5 to 2.5. That is actually a big deal. So I was actually saying, I was having this conversation with people lately where people were thinking that Ezreal is bad right now, but because of the Kleptomancy issue. But here's the thing. Ezreal is actually better than Kleptomancy Ezreal right now. If you were to have Ezreal in like mid or late game, Q a random target that's like a squishy, not a tank, half their HP bar is just going to be flat out gone. They have actually overbuffed Ezreal to compensate for the fact he has no keystone right now. Ezreal is actually a nightmare right now, and people are sleeping on him. And the thing is, like, I was playing him the other day, like, you don't need Kleptomancy. You really don't. He has been buffed so much. His Q does such ridiculous amounts of damage. And then now they're buffing his mana growth and his attack speed growth. Like, Ezreal is a great champion right now. Great champion. One of the better ADCs in the game. I would say top 4, top 5. I can't go into specifics right now because I'm not thinking about it. But, like, on just, like, really loose thinking, I would say Ezreal's top 4, top 5, top 6. And that's just really good. I wouldn't put him top 2, though. Actually, maybe I would put him top 2. I need to look at a list. Aiming to help out Gaia players in normal skill shots. So, thing is that Q damage is so mediocre right now that one extra tick that lasts for like a little bit longer isn't gonna like improve this. Galio still sucks. But he can be picked into very specific scenarios. Riona's doing too much damage, so let's check really closely. I can't tell if this is a 6 or an 8. I'm dyslexic. Like, I'm not lying. I really am dyslexic. I'm going to assume that's a 6. Because this is an 8. And that looks a little bit more round. So, 60 to 60. So, rank 1 stays the same. 100 to 9. This doesn't matter. 60. This doesn't. So, basically, full combo and level 3, you lose out on 20 damage. No. This doesn't matter. This would be painful for other ADCs, but with Miss Fortune's playstyle, this does not matter. Rumble, armor, so this doesn't make a difference. Bonus movement speed, shield. So I think that's an 80. Yeah, that's an 80. So 80 to 60, 110. This actually kind of hurts, but I think Rumble's gonna survive this. But this also does make me sad, because I don't think mid lane Rumble is nearly as broken as people are giving it credit for. I think people are just unused to it, and he's just winning because people just aren't used to what they should be doing against it. Okay, so next up, so we have Sejuani. Sejuani is getting a little better attack speed on level 1, so this is actually nice. Frost armor removal, damage up from monsters and damage from all monsters and enemy gen. This is... I'd rather have this than this. Because on rank 1 I get, I believe, anyways. This is dumb. Drop chance from 20%, 25% minions, so Senna doesn't kill, 1.6% minions kills. Minions via space force war, miss rate drop chance. So ADC Senna is gonna survive. I promise you it will, but this actually does suck. This actually does suck. And how much it sucks, we would actually need to see through live statistics to see how much it does suck. I actually think she goes from S tier to A tier with this nerf, but maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe she remains S tier, but I think she definitely gets demoted to A tier with this nerf. I would say this is probably one of the biggest nerf with the patch. It makes me sad you're nerfing Senna ADC because Senna ADC as a solo queue role just sucks. Like, if you're not playing the top tier meta, it sucks, and nerfing the top tier meta isn't gonna fix that. ADC sucks because it just has such low agency in solo queue, where ADC is the only role in the game where if your team is feeding, there's nothing you can do about it besides stall. Or try to get some solo kills, but even then, that can be a little hard if the enemy ADC is just playing defensive. I'm not saying you can't climb while playing ADC, but out of all the other solo queue roles, like mid, top, jungle, even support has so much more agency. It's like, I don't understand. Like, you don't nerf marksman meta, especially when every mage in the game is better than marksman. I genuinely wonder, are we eventually going to go back to a meta where every marksman pro player has to fear for their job, and if they're going to fear about being replaced by mage players? I wonder if League of Legends will actually evolve to that. Which is actually a high possibility if marksman keeps on going the route it is. I mean, hell, the best Korean player right now is Italia ADC one trick. So, Haymaker gets nerfed in cooldowns by 2 per level. 4 at max level, actually, that's actually painful. That's actually very painful because this is actually your most important ability. Base damage, 90 to 90, 230 to 210. So damage remains the same, the cooldown kind of sucks. Set's alright, he's going to remain good in solo queue after this. He's not that good in pro, besides the fact he can be flexed, but people aren't flexing him enough. This actually nerfs set support by quite a bit, which is saddening. Other thoughts on this? I think Set survives this. He's definitely remain one of the better solo queue top laners. This is pointless. And this is actually a buff for late game Yumi, but a nerf towards early game Yumi. I guess they just want Yumi to be in a state where she's not so oppressive in the early game to the point you can just play completely safe in the lane phase as an ADC and get away with murder. I guess it's kind of like them trying to push her to. I don't know. Yumi makes me disappointed in Riot because she's basically another Callista problem, where you have a champion that's only going to exist in pro play because of how her toolkit functions. And then, if you guys are wondering if these EXP nerfs actually mean anything for solo queue junglers, I actually think it's a step in the right direction. I think it helps a bit, but I don't think it's gonna like automatically fix the problem. Like, I don't think this fixes enough. It's definitely a step in the right direction, though. So, I'm Phantom GG. This is my patch 10.3 rundowns. Really lame patch. Changes almost nothing. The only actual game changer here is actually Seta, and that actually makes me sad. Kali kind of matters, but yeah, these nerfs are really pointless. Azir was cool. Yumi is like only matters in pro play. Ezreal's just busted. Yeah, that's it. Have a good day, everybody. Hope you found this good video. Hope you found it informative.